I don't consider myself a genius. I consider myself, and I have the approval of my wife, pedantic. You know, chewing, 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 until I get inside. He left to us a treasure map. A treasure map. I decided first to say, he cannot have disappeared without leaving a treasure map. So he wrote the Proverbs, he wrote the Ecclesiastes, don't do this and that, and he wrote the Song of Songs. Wow. And there you know that it has to be inside that. Because, I don't want to be rude, but I never saw women with breasts like towers. Tower is something, a building, but come on. And you know that now we make, have you heard of the biblical code? Skipping letter. Skipping in Hebrew is dilug. I have somebody here confirm it. You know where does it appear in the Bible?
In the book of Song of Songs. V'diglo alai ahava. And we understand that.
I'm so happy that I have somebody confirm it. You understand the hints that he gave. I can show you that, you know, the construction of the temple for years. First of all, Solomon built the walls. And only at a certain moment he invited a guy called Hiram, who was the professor of metallurgy and all those things. And the Freemasons consider that he is the founder of their order.
Solomon.
Eh?
Hiram.
So at a certain moment I find the name of Hiram more or less at the time in which he appears in the story, with a skipping, a dilug of one letter. So H, dilug, I, dilug, in Hebrew. And I said, wow, now he's going to talk about the pillars. And I go to the first paragraph in the following chapter, and here there is a little miracle that happened to me. I look for Boaz, because I have a name, and Yachin. And I find Boaz at a distance of 6 letters. Okay, so it is Boaz, but where is Yachin? And I prayed God. I never, believe me, I never asked from God not to kill my mother-in-law, poor thing, she's already gone, or something, even, good, I never asked him. You know what is good for me? If you think it's good, send it. And I thank him for everything that he sent. That time, I was sitting there. I said, please, I'm working for your glory. Show me where is Yachin. And I close my eyes and I concentrate. With all the scene, I open my eyes and I see that there is Yachin without dilug. But in the opposite sense. Because the two pillars, one did open and the other one did close. You smile. You know my fear there? I was terrified. He helped me. Where is he? And I had the feeling of the fear of God. Now, what is the interest in the ark? You know, we need in this century to fight for our survival, to win the goodies, to be here, because God says He chose us, you know. I wonder why He didn't choose the German. You know, the German, the Jews, they're fighting one with the other. But anyway, He did that for the good of the entire humanity. In order, you know, already through Jesus, you know, we show the moral and the thing like this, but now it is much more. But we don't have a Moses. In my opinion, and don't laugh, Moses, the leader, will be when people will believe that the ark is there and will try and pray, because you cannot go and touch it, to take it out in order to lead us. What is the use of this discovery? Everybody sent me in Facebook, oh, it's fascinating, but tachles, in Yiddish, they say, come to the practicality. So I discovered another thing, fundamental, and the ark becomes a part of this work. The ark is already published. There is a site in the internet, but this is not yet published because every day I make new discovery. I believe that our miraculous generation, we come back. First of all, we survived to all this persecution, to speaking a different language. We come back, and as it was said, we can defend ourselves. Our army, with his help, is unbeatable. And there are good people. My children go to the army. I can tell you that is a moral army. Is a copy of the exit from Egypt. So you understand, it's a cycle like this, and then we have a mirror image. Why is it important? Now, first of all, I want to give you a couple of clues why I believe this. You remember that when we came out from Egypt, there was a mixed multitude, unqualified, that came out together with us. How do you say this in Hebrew?
The Erev Rav.
Did you hear? Erev Rav. I wish I could write it in Hebrew because, we don't write the vowel. We save...
it's written underneath here on the subtitles.
Okay. So Erev Rav. Now, we came back in this generation, no? After the Holocaust, and we come back here. And during all the time that the Jews were not here, there was a prophecy. I will show you in Mark Twain. He says, how true is the prophecy that until the place was neglected, yes, full of disease, nobody wanted to come here. But when the first pioneer came, the land woke up and produced fruits and greenery and flowers, and all the neighbors say, wow! And they came here, a multitude of Arabs. What if I take the letters? You have to help me. Of Erev Rav, I don't put the vowel, yes, but I read it like this. I can read Arav Rav, a multitude of Arabs. Did you think of this?
Oh, very nice, yes.
Very nice. I have a million to show. I give you another one. Okay, so there is a guy, Moses, in Hebrew, Moshe, who was a fantastic leader, and he was also the judge of Israel. In Hebrew, judge is Dayan.
Okay.
So our father Moshe was Moshe Dayan when he took us, and he came out from the desert, went up on the other side of the Dead Sea, of the mountain of Moab, and he would find that there are populations there. And to see that crowd of people coming in, so he would send very politely emissaries to the people. They say, listen, we only have to go, we don't have another way. We have to go through this. We will not make dirt, we will clean after, we don't want war, blah, 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 blah. Most of the people were terrified that they knew that it was not healthy to move war to Israel, and they would let them go. And the other one that opposed disappeared from the car. And they arrived just before making a left turn to Jericho in the kingdom of Heshbon. Forget about the name because I have not yet broken the meaning. Why cheshbon? Cheshbon, when you're at the restaurant, you say, bring me the cheshbon. I don't know what it is. And the king, Moses sent him, the emissary, very politely. He even offered to buy the food and water, paying dollars, whatever it was. And God hardened the heart of the king of Heshbon. It says in the Deuteronomy, it's not his decision, it was wanted by him. And he moved war. No need to say what happened. He lost his life, he lost his kingdom. Aha! But now happens something. There are very nice places, on the other side of Moab, fertile and things like this. So he started distributing this land on the other side of Moab to Gad, Reuben, and Menashe in part. And the people say, so it's very nice, we stay here. And they say, what? We have, your brothers are going to fight for Canaan, and you know the story. So they say, okay. So they left only the ladies there and the children making settlements. And you know what? The United Nations never put their mind that they started making settlements. Okay.
First Jewish settlements in the world.
Okay. So now I will ask you to make some sport and make a jump to 1967.
Oh.
In 1967, we were blessed with another Moshe Dayan.
Yes.
To be distinguished. He also sent emissaries to the king of Jordan, Heshbon, and said, we don't want war, don't attack us, we will not attack you. In parentheses, we don't want Jerusalem, we don't want Judea, we don't want Samaria. We want only to finish our problem with the Syria and Egypt. And I believe that God hardened the heart of the king of Jordan, who came in and lost everything. At least he had conquered illegally, the Judea, Samaria, and Jerusalem. But he lost everything. So we have territorially the same. The Jordan was Heshbon. We have a conquest, and after the military period, we have settlements, organized settlements, with containers and and caravan. Who decided this at the time of the exit from Egypt? Moshe, the Dayan of Am Israel. And who decided now at the time of the 67 of the Sixth War? Another Moshe Dayan that really I want to distinguish. But it's interesting because the name of the king of Jordan was Hussein. And the name of the king of Heshbon was Sichon. The same letters.
Oh, yes.
This is also.
Wow.
You know what? You have to keep in mind that the Hebrew letters are also numbers. So 2 times 3 is 6, but also 3 times 2 is 6. So you can make anagrams. And Sichon has the same value as Hussein. And it is the same situation and the same thing that repeated. I am delighted with this kind. I have until tomorrow morning other discoveries to show that it is a mirror generation. Why? Because at a certain moment, the first generation, the one of the exit from Egypt, had a happy ending. We ended up here. And here they want to cancel us, the nations. We never existed, and anything to make us accepting illegal border so that we can commit suicide. No, I want to give to my brother Israeli the confidence that he's going to repeat the exit from Egypt.
He may יציאתך מארץ מצרים יראינו נפלאות. As the days that you are leaving Egypt, I will show you wonders.
There are also other things incredible,
But we have to get back to the temple and the
temple.
hidden ark of the temple in the Yachin and Boaz pillars of Solomon's temple.
Why did I stop? Because I think it is already, in my opinion, singular that we find it in the treasure map, but that there is much more in the treasure map of